Hey, shiny rock fans. Look what I've got here. This rock was part of a collection of rocks I bought from a wonderful Facebook seller. I looked at this and thought, wouldn't this be nice if we just put a face polish across here? Kind of looks like a smile with your upper and lower teeth. We'll leave the rest as is. But this polished, nice and smooth and shiny, I think will look great. What I'll do is take this into the shop, I'll get it on the cabbing machine, I'll round this off nicely and get it smooth, and then I'll put a polish on it. Afterwards, we'll come back here and take a closer look. As usual, we start with the 80 grit wheel. This is the wheel that we use to shape the stone in the way we want it. And here's how it looks after that. That was several minutes. But notice how I've got it nice and flat and I've touched just about every surface with that grit. You see those scratches? That's what you want to see, those gray scratches everywhere. Next we go to the 220 grit wheel. Now all we're going to do is take away all those gray scratches and make them finer with this 220 grit wheel. So notice that the bigger scratches are gone and it's much smoother looking. No big scratches, that's important. Here we jump to the 280 grit wheel. This is the soft wheel. Here I'm pushing into it. Now, the idea here is to get rid of all those 220 grit scratches. So notice that even all the way to the edge, it's nice and smooth with none of the bigger scratches from the earlier wheels. Next up is the 600 grit wheel. This is where the polishing really begins. So once again, we're just getting rid of the earlier scratches. Now look at it. You see the shine forming, that's good. I always show these dry, just so you know. I use a blower to dry them off. And I don't see any scratches, even out to the edge, that's good. Let's move on to the 1200 grit wheel. At this point, we should start to develop a really nice shine. There you go. At 1200 grit, you should have a really good shine all the way to the edge. No obvious scratches anymore. You can see that the quartz does not quite shine as nicely as the chalcedony, but both are still looking really good. It's time for the next wheel. Now we're going to the 3000 grit. This will give us a really good shine. There you go. Remember, this is dry. That's after 3000 grit. And I could easily stop there and be happy. It's a very good shine. Watch as the lights dance around all the way to the edge. No big distortions, no scratches. Just what you want to see. We can do a little bit better though. Let's jump to the cerium belt. This is the wet belt sander, and that's a cerium belt, about 50,000 grit. We'll hit that for a couple of minutes. There you go, that's the final polish. Now look at the clarity of those fine dots as they move around the stone. You don't want to see any really obvious distortions, obviously no scratches, all the way to the edge. That's what you want to look for. I think it's looking pretty good. Tell you what, let's take this inside and we'll take a closer look. Our little seam agate is finished with its face polish. How do you like it? I think it turned out pretty nice. What do you think? You saw me go through all the wheels on the cabbing machine and then over to the wet belt sander with the cerium belt. The secret to getting a really good polish like this is that first wheel on the cabbing machine, the 80 grit wheel. That's the one I spend the most time on because I want to get a nice flat surface that every area has been touched by that wheel. It's important. If you do it that way, then the preceding wheels will go much faster. So then jumping to the 220 and then the 280. As long as I've hit it all with that 80 grit wheel to start with, and it's nice and smooth like this, you see how you can get a great shine all the way across the stone like that. Of course, the rest of it is completely raw, which is beautiful in its own way, but I prefer the shine. Anyway, there you go. That's face polishing this little random seam agate. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure and check my other videos for more like this. Thanks again.